Hey there, it's your host Dan once again. I think we're up to about part 5 in the front end repair we're doing to the C4. Not much happened last weekend. I didn't film it, but I spent some more time cleaning up things like, you know, the Fenderwells, and over here on the toolbox, some more parts over here in the corner. I still have the headlight to do and these parts, but I mainly concentrated on getting the car cleaned itself because, well, it had that rode hard and put away wet look, and I was getting quite tired of it. And besides too, if I happen to brush against the car with any of that dirt on it, it's just gonna scratch the paint. And I'll tell you, washing the car here in the garage without the use of a hose is kind of a pain in the butt and not the most ideal car wash, but I wanted to get all that dirt off. It's definitely making me happier looking at it now, all shiny. So I probably won't be cussing as much in this video as I was in the first couple. So we move on to sourcing parts for the car, and hey, I got some parts down here. I've got the headlight motor and headlight complete assembly here. I've also got the inner fender well. You know, I popped for that. I said, what the heck? And the coolant can, and also I've got the 2 electrical sockets for the turn signals. Got this all very reasonably priced, so I got them all at once. I've also got a new hood and a new bumper coming. To start here, we're gonna install this fender well, which is pretty darn dirty, by the way. I think my original here was cleaner when it was originally dirty, but dirt's nothing. I can get this cleaned off and I can get this detailed looking just like that one, almost looking like new. There's no cracks in that. Coolant tank is pretty well dirty, but hey, we'll detail and we'll clean that up as well. And I'll work on these sockets, getting these in, but let's move on and getting these parts cleaned up. So I just spent about the better part of an hour cleaning just these 2 pieces. The coolant tank, got all that crud out from the inside, like this one here where it's dark. That's all the crud on the inside. I could reach in there with a brush for the most part. I couldn't get all the way into the corner, but I'm not really that worried about it. It looks really clean, and you know, when you look down the hole inside, you can see to the bottom, as like this tank, the bottom of that's all black, which of course I have to do a coolant flush, which I've been known for a while. I'll eventually get to that. This panel here, I've got this all cleaned up. When I got that caked on mud off, on the other side, somebody had driven through probably some fresh road tar because it was all over the other side of it, which was really difficult to remove, but I got the other side of it just as clean as this. So let's move on and let's get these parts installed into the car. Pretty easy. On the inner fender, we can see there's a couple bolt holes down here in the corner, and we can see them right here up here. So I'm going to use a 10mm, zip those out from the bottom. Up here in the front, there's another 10mm. It comes off this extension bar. There's also some shims behind it, so you want to take note to hang on to those. Okay, that just released. Let's get our shims out. I think there's 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to drop them. 1, 2, 3 of them. This is loose. In the front, let's go into the fender. Okay, we got that 7mm out so that this can just lift up. Set that off to the side for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. I thought there was only 5. Okay. Didn't see that last one with the rubbery part over it. And there we go. We are loose. Alright, let's take a look at the old Fenderwell. I knew about this crack up here. I pretty much knew where all the cracks were. Little one here at the screw hole. Down here, here. There's one here. Looks like a little crack here, here. Here it's pretty well messed up. You can see that on the other side down here. It's pretty ragged and also split over here. And also around where these screws go in, we can see that it was just about to separate. It's a little worse now that I've got it off the car. It didn't look as bad. But those are all the cracks in it. And you know, I'm kind of glad I decided to replace this piece. There's just way too much wrong with it. Way too many little cracks all over the place for me not to replace it. If it was just one or two somewhere, I might just leave it, but this is now garbage. You know what, let's go ahead and take this bracket off here too, just for now. I was almost going to get too eager beaver to put the Fenderwell in, but then, you know, hey, I decided I still have to straighten this little piece on the tie bar, and if I have this out, it's going to give me maximum room, maximum clearance, maximum swinging distance. So I might as well just pull this off and out of the way until I get those parts taken care of. I've also got this aluminum bar down below. I think I'm going to replace that too, and the one that comes up to the frame with salvage parts that aren't bent up, so I don't have any alignment worries, issues when all the, you know, the new bumper's going back on. There we go. Okay, so we got that off, and I think I'll leave the dirt so that way I'll know where it'll line up. But yeah, now I can swing from quite a distance. This is a lot better. I think the next thing I'll do is I'll start fixing the electrical plugs, and we'll fix this one, and then I guess we'll take this bar off here, because I think this one has an unusual bend at the end. I'm pretty sure this is bent. I'm not sure if this one can be saved or slightly bent. I might just go with two, and that way hopefully it'll all line up the way it should. Let's do this front turn signal light, which is cracked, obviously unusable. I got a replacement right here. This part has some overspray on it from a red car, obviously, that I can't get off. I tried even acetone, it won't take it off. So I don't want to put this in because I know by the time I snap into place, this will probably be the side that's up, and you know, red overspray on a black car. So I'm going to take some spray paint and just give it a little dusting just to get the red off of there. That's really all I want to achieve. Okay, next up we'll get the wiring out of the loom here. Get that tape off. And now that I got the loom off, we can get to the wiring. And here, the wiring on my car is a little bit different than everybody else's Corvette. The brown wire is your parking light wire, the blue wire is your turn signal wire, and of course you got a ground. You can see here my blue wire is interrupted. It changes over to a white wire, and then the other side of the blue wire is hooked to this light blue. That's for my daytime running lights. What it does is when they're on, normally it would be connected. It will split that and send 12 volts to the turn signal to light them up solid on both sides. So that's why you see the wiring like this. And I'm going to make sure to put it back exactly like this. How much length do we have? Yeah, we got plenty of length here. So we're going to come right in about the same spot. Okay, so then I'll just kind of come in here and cut this out. The dark blue from the socket's going to go to the white, and this we can leave. We don't have to cut this one. And then we got our ground wire, which will be about the same length. Yeah, the ground, there we go. Let's take a look, see how our paint's drying. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's getting rid of the red. Let's just kind of give it another fast dusting. Oop, don't spray your hand. Come in here with my strippers, get a little wire stripped. We're going to be soldering these together. Well, the paint trick worked pretty good. I don't see any of that red anymore. I wouldn't think that something's kind of funny about it. Let's take some heat shrink and put that on each of the wires, because obviously if we don't, by the time we're done, it's pretty hard to put it on. So we're going to do that first. 1, 2, 3. Let's connect up our wires. Black for our ground. Go ahead and twist these together. Make sure you twist them together pretty good. You want to get that really nice and tight. I kind of just put it at like an X, and then I just fold each edge around and then just wrap it backwards. Do it nice and neat. It'll be nice and tight. It'll make a great connection. Okay, let's push that one out of the way. Let's go get our soldering iron set up. Now let's get these wires here soldered. Always want to heat the wire. You always want to make sure you feed the solder into the wire. You can see it like run down the strands. There we go, it's one. Get this guy here. There we go, don't hold it on too long, you'll start shrinking away the insulation. And we'll get the ground. And after I'm done soldering, I want to feel the wire, make sure there's nothing really sharp poking out. Sometimes there might be after you're done, so we're good. Okay, we're going to take these 3 pieces of heat shrink, and of course they're going to want to be difficult and slide all over the wall. There we go. If I can get it to stay in place where it should, right about there, let's see, and right about there. Come on guys, there we go. Let's fire up our heat gun, shrink those tubes down. Took a little longer than expected. This is some kind of older, thicker heat shrink. Just didn't shrink right up. I didn't want to put it on high because I know when I put it on high, my heat gun goes like all squirrely. It goes crazy. Where is our, here we go. Here's our tubing. Cover it back up. And then we'll just tape it up on the ends with some Super 33. About the best tape there is, I think. Don't buy that cheap stuff. Pay that $3-4 a roll. It's worth it. Now our socket obviously has a bulb still stuck in the end of it, so let's get that out of there. Ooh. He's crunchy. Crunchy. There we go. Okay. Ugh. We got out our new bulb. So got a new bulb in place. Now this light should work. I think I'm gonna go flip on the lights and let's go check it out. Let's see if it does work. All right, the light works.